Start the recording. Boy, am I just falling down on a job today. Welcome to the Wing It call, August 5th, 2016. You've missed the invocation by not starting the recording in time. My bad. But at least I remembered. The disclaimer is we're not attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors. Anything that you hear in this call is not any form of legal advice in any shape or form. Contrary to what Dizzy Bear says about his stuff, everything is private. Mine is not. For the rest of my disclaimer, please go to the wingitcall.com and there's a disclaimer tab. Please click on that and you'll get the rest of your disclaimer. I don't mind sharing information with anybody. Bless my heart. Art is unavailable. He's taking care of his life right now. So star 2 to raise your hand, because today could be a short call. Let's see. Yep, there's the SITREP report out there. I hope everybody's read that. What else? There's not a lot really to talk about. Let's see. I'm going to go over here to rolling chat. Is Winsome still dark? Did they close their room or is it back up and running again? And I know that Awaken 3D has went dark. Still down. Okay then. Well, there you go. They're falling by the wayside for various and assorted reasons. Awaken 3D is like myself. There's not a whole lot left to say. Everything's been done. But we're still waiting on things to roll out or somebody to release it, open the floodgates, push the damn button. I mean, there's many scenarios. But here we wait, brokenhearted. How's that reading coming, Aiko?
I'm
still reading? Okay.
I don't know.
Keep going.
No, well, I'm still reading, but it's like, I guess I'm not in a good mood.
Well, as long as this has been and everything that we've been through, I'm glad you brought that up. It is the season. It's hot out. Tempers are short. And so it makes everything from traffic. Go ahead.
Well, it is. I mean, a lot of things, just a general statement. I get that we're doing this every day. We're talking to people every day. We're being educated every day. And a lot of the questions I see here they're good questions because folks aren't as immersed in this, I guess, as we are. And we've asked all these questions, and a lot of them, it seems like we're going over the same ground, and I get that it's brand new for some people. So I don't want to be judgmental, but just my overall statement. I keep saying this again and again, and as we get closer and closer, all of these questions are about scenarios that we don't know whether they're true or not. We don't know whether we've been given misinformation or whether we've been given plain old bullshit. And it causes a lot of folks to be concerned about things they don't need to be concerned about. That's just a general statement. And it happens every phone call because there's so many of us out there and we've got such different lives that we're leading and we come at this from different places. I'm just I don't know. I'm just getting really pissed off at all the misinformation that comes out from people who claim they're, they're with Christ, or they've got a super duper connection with one of the admirals group, or I mean, you name it. But all it does is stir up the same pot of the same information, and all of this stuff, for the most part, was put out months ago, and it's old information that just keeps getting recirculated by the folks who need to be heard, who need to be gurus, who need to have hits on their websites. I'm sorry to be negative about this, guys, today, because we are so close, and all of these questions, they really don't matter because we don't know what the truth is until we get into that room. And the fact of the matter is, we're all going to be wealthy. We're all going to be fine. And all the scams and all the worries about taxes and all the worries about this and whether I set up the right trust and all that other stuff, it's all going to be taken care of because the banks need us to succeed. I don't know. That's just sorry. I'm just in a bad mood, I guess. So, you want to answer the questions, Jerry?
Well, I didn't know if you were going to let me talk or not. I was just going to be really quiet. I didn't want to get in the line of fire there.
It just, it's going to be a lot of confusion, especially now, because we are so close. Especially now, there's going to be a lot of misinformation put out there. There's going to be a lot of people trying to get in to your head who have no right to be there. I keep warning people about this. There are people in DNR land who are setting you up as we speak. And the proof in the pudding is going to be post-RV. Who starts communicating with you? Who gets in touch with you? You guys got to remember, nobody is your friend. Nobody you have met, including me, including Jerry, including Pastor, including all the people who have put themselves out as good-hearted folks trying to help. You have to discern everyone. You have to vet everyone. There are no exceptions. And I'm telling you that for a fact. If you remember Tony saying a lot of people were going to go to jail? There's a lot of groups that are out there just to rip you off. Well, that was one of the things he was telling the truth about. He was dead accurate on that one. And I'm just being dead accurate on it now. You guys have got to learn to think for yourselves and not get caught up in the minutia of all the rumor mills, because that's what it is. It's just rumor. We don't know if there's structured payouts. That was something somebody put out 3 or 4 months ago. We don't know what the rates are really. We have an idea, but we don't know. We really don't know the answers to a lot of these things. I'm just reviewing these questions. It's just, it really is impossible to say. The only thing we do know is that the rates are better than we expected. It's going to happen soon. It appears that things are in motion. Now, they're still in motion at I'm not even going to call them higher levels. I'm just going to call it at the levels that need to be done first. So bonds have to be paid. SKRs have to be funded. Big groups with predetermined rates and negotiations, and terms have to be done. And then if you're going with the tier 1, 2, 3, 4, we're tier 4. We're next. And then there's the public. And the public is the people who have no clue as to what's going on. They just hold some currency. They bought some currency because the pastor of their church told them to do it, or their friend told them to do it, or somebody left them as a tip. And that's the majority of people. We are on the private side. That much, I'm pretty certain that we are on the private side. We're going to go real quick here, and then, the public may not go till October 1st in November, but that's the public. That's not us. Okay, I'm done again. Sorry.
About trusting people.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a big circle here. This is not a time filler. This is real life practical application. And I've experienced it firsthand. And I've always heard about this next statement, but until you've truly been through it, I was shocked. Now, that being said, here's the statement. Death brings out the ugliness in everyone. When my first wife passed, because she was an older woman and her daughter is closer to my age, and I didn't realize, and there was really nothing to the estate. Death brings out the ugliness in everyone. I say that for this next little tidbit. When you exchange, the last people you want to tell is family members. Oh, you've got so much? Well, I want some. You're going to have more headaches, even if they know that you have some right now. Your NDA forbids you from telling them how much you've got or how much you exchange for. That's none of their damn business. Family, friends, do not make good business partners, nothing when it comes to business. And the last you want to choose is a family member, unless you've been down that road before and you know they're trustworthy. But again, this is bigger amounts, and the whole landscape, however you want to call it, once this happens, it's going to change everything. Trust no one, and that includes yourself. That's why you're going to start hiring as the best you can find, CPAs, tax attorneys, financial advisors. You have to look at your total in the end, what you have after you've exchanged, that determines your level of financial advisors. And I want to say this, you always want the best that you can find. And that also goes according to the level of your wealth. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, you might have the money now. You can't ever spend it too slowly. Don't go out and buy an attorney or a financial advisor that's used to dealing with somebody with $100 million plus if you've only got 25 or 30 million. When somebody that's dealt with that in that range is well suited for it. Did I say that right, Wingman?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
You really want to, slow is fast and fast is slow. Do things slowly. You'll only have to do it one time, and it'll be a long-lasting solution. If you do things fast, you're going to end up going back and correcting, and you're going to get overwhelmed with fixing the hasty decisions you made. So, we're all going to be able to talk to each other after this. We're not going to be able to talk about how much we got or where we went or what the rates we got and all that. But we can still talk to each other and compare different advice that comes out and compare notes on people we're running into. I really encourage that, guys. Don't go this alone, but don't include folks who haven't got the same knowledge base as you. It's going to force all of us to associate with people we're probably not used to associate with. But you want to get with like-minded people. You want to get with people who are sharing the same challenges and issues that you are, and put your heads together. And don't do it over the phone. Arrange for one-on-one meetings. Look people in the face. This is going to be the new luxury that we have. We're going to be able to see one another when we talk to one another. And you're going to find a lot of people who you thought were whatever, in the know, trustworthy, whatever word you want to use for it. When you meet them face to face, their body language, the look in their eyes, the real-time contact between one another, they might be different people. They might be different from who you thought they were. The wise advice that I am sticking to, that I've been given, is go in, exchange for the best deal you can, get the money parked, and then just sit back and relax, or try to relax, but get used to having that money in the bank and start asking hard questions and start paying for real, solid professional advice at what Jerry was just saying, at the level you should be paying at. If you're if you're coming out of this a billionaire, then by all means go to a gold-plated firm, financial firm, and find out what they know. You may find in the first month or two you're telling them things that they weren't aware of, but they'll catch up real fast because they're good. There's a reason they're gold-plated. Okay, there's a reason they're going to charge you a $50,000 retainer. But if you come out of this with a few $1 million, just find a good accountant, somebody who handles, folks who are wealthy, and somebody with $5 million is a wealthy person. And listen to what they have to say. Know who you are in the new world. I guess that's one way of looking at it. And we're really not going to know who we are unless we sit back and listen and read and talk to a variety of people to find out who we are and what our place is in the financial sector. This is all stuff we got to learn, all of us.
Well, I'm over here on my Twitter, and we're being kind of negative now. If we're in the season, why so negative? We're being negative. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you.
Not being negative, guys, being practical. That's what I'm trying to get across. Maybe I know it's not my usual tone of voice, but I'm trying to relate to everyone that it's here. Okay, it may not be here in the form that's been advertised, but it's here. And we've got to start thinking like it's here. We've got to start listening. Just if it doesn't make sense, guess what? It's a lie. Okay. I mean, just not lopping the zeros off a 100 trillion note. I mean, come on. Everybody has common sense. You're right. There's only $80 trillion worth of income in or trade in any given year. And we're going to walk around with 10 times that in our pocket? I don't think so. I mean, who does that, like Tony, I love that phrase he used to use. Who does that make sense to? If it doesn't make sense, there's a 99.99% chance it's phony. It's wrong. It's misinformation. It's not about being negative. That's not what this is. This is about being practical and starting to discern between the information that we're getting, because post-RV, I keep telling you guys this, post-RV, you're gonna bump into people that you never even dreamed could exist. When money's out there, it brings out the best and it brings out the worst. So I don't know. I guess I'm being this way because we are so close, and we are going to be wealthy. We really are. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. There's no more doubt about that. This thing's happening. We're going to take part in it. We're going to become wealthy, and we got to figure out how to be wealthy people.
let me hit some questions here.
Okay.
We're going to hit a couple, and we'll take some questions. With all the talk about the ZIM and the zeros, how many ZIM holders are they projecting? Don't know. With that in mind, we can do the math. If they all own 100 trillion note and we get 3 cents minus 6 zeros, and their math is off, that's 30 million. No, it's only 3 million per trillion note. It'd be 30 cents if it was 30 million. Someone reported only 71 trillion in the world economics. That would be off the phone call last night with a grouchy bear. I don't know how accurate that is. Then those high rates and no zeros makes no sense to me. Got a good head on your shoulders. What say you and Iko think? Thanks a million, pun intended, for all you do. You're very much appreciated in Dinar land. Well, you pretty much answered your own questions with a good head on your shoulders, so we'll leave it at that. Let's see. If I purchased a 100 T note ZIM from my eBay site and had it sent to a friend and relative directly, the enclosed invoice sent with the currency was in their name and address and not mine. Is a gift receipt still necessary? Nope. Since the receipt they received the currency is in their name and not mine, I simply assume I don't need to send a gift receipt. You are correct. And as Iko said, we won't know the rules of the game till we get in there. So to ask about structure to contract payouts, as I like to call them, it's beating a dead horse right now. We don't know if the SKRs have been funded. What else? Do the new USN's currency still have the words Federal Reserve on them instead of United States Treasury? That's kind of a silly question. The USNs are going to replace the FRNs, and there will not be Federal Reserve on them. It will say United States Treasury. Hey, stop chewing on that. So here we go. Wait a minute. Let me do this. And we're going to take our first caller. Largo, Maryland? D on the web. Come on down. D? D on the web. Too much feedback. Clear it up and we'll come back to you. Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 919. Come on down. That's you,
Hello.
Chapel Hill.
Yeah, actually, I'm not able to answer my question now, but I'll come back in later.
Okay. Largo, D on the web. Did you get everything straightened out? Hello, D on the web. Now you muted yourself. D on the web. Nope. Okay. Glendale, Texas, and it's an 817 number, and the last four of your phone number is, or last three is 440. Come on down. I'm not going to say your name.
Okay,
Hello?
thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thanks for your all your help, your long suffering, listening to all these questions, and taking the time that you do, guys. You're awesome. You answered one of my questions, and that was if you knew that the new currency's out, and you said no. Have we cleared out once and for all the confusion about the whether we in Dinar land will get some kind of notification or not? And I'll mute out and listen to your call.
Iko, you want to take a crack at that, please? I'm answering a text.
the short answer is yes. We are going to be notified. What form that notification is going to come down in is probably a mixture of everything we've been hearing. But you always want to remember, the banks want us to come in and exchange this currency. They are going to make sure we know that we can do that. I'll tell you what I've heard, okay? I've heard that certain groups are going to get emails, that the group they're calling the Wells Fargo group will get emails, that the internet group will probably be advised that there are 800 numbers to call at whatever bank they want to do business with. It probably isn't going to be one single 800 number which we call, and they then distribute us to the bank of our choice according to how much we have in our geographic area. That, I think, was that's what was put out a few years ago, and that's what people have sort of been sticking with. But that doesn't really make sense because each bank wants to do things their own way. There have been rumors that Chase and Bank of America are now handling the ZIM. That may be true. It may be BS. We just don't know until the actual event. But I don't think any of us need to be concerned about being notified. It's not against an NDA to say, hey, I just exchanged. You're okay with saying that. You just can't say for how much and what and where. But
right.
You can say, you can say to a friend or to a group of friends that call Wells Fargo. They'll tell you. I will say one thing very interesting. I spoke with my own wealth manager. Right, I actually had an email exchange yesterday because I told him that it looked like it was coming down. What had he heard? And he emailed me back. He said, they are treating us like mushrooms. I am in a damp, dark basement with no sunlight.
That's why I was chuckling.
Yeah. And you know what? What they've done, and again, think of it like a business person. It appears they have created completely separate divisions, which makes sense because you don't want the whole bank getting sued just in case something goes wrong with an exchange. So the only division that can get sued is the exchange division, which is totally separate from the bank itself. They really have thought this out, guys. They really have. And they've thought it out so well that we really don't know exactly how they're going to handle it. But I just, it doesn't make business sense to keep this a secret from the private group. The private group are the folks who have really invested in this and been following it. And here we are, So there are people out there right now amongst us who are still trying to confuse the issue. And if you will notice, every week, in fact, the beginning of the week there's one story, the end of the week there's another story. They never justify any of the stories. They never make excuses. They just ignore what happened before and they move on and create another scenario. And that is PsyOps 101. They're here to create confusion, whether it's for the white hats, the black hats, or the gray hats. It's just we all really need to just stop listening to all of the conjecture and all of the rumors and just, I know this is hard, but just sit back and let it come because it's coming.
Right. Well, great. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
Sorry to get back on my soapbox there. I'm just, I'm energized today. Let's put it
You're
that way.
great, Iko. You're really awesome. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Well, fine. Okay.
Well, it takes a wingman to bring the show, pop it out the top like a jack in the box. Is that it, sir? Yep, I guess so.
Yeah,
I think that was it. Yeah.
Sharon on the web, come on down. I'm unmuting you. Sharon on the web, come on down in Alaska. You're unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Cool. Well, Alaska is the last frontier, and a lot of times we're forgotten. And I remember reading about certain locations for the Zim exchange. Is Alaska included in that? Yes, we have Wells Fargo up here. Does anybody know?
I'm betting if you've got a Wells Fargo, I don't think they're going to leave any U.S. state out of it. So I believe you're going to be okay.
Okay, and the notifications, I'm only on a few emails, like the recap and the ministries where Yosef is at or something like that. Will I be notified through the email as a group? I'm a Zim holder.
I don't know. I can't answer that honestly.
So I
don't
just
think
wait
anybody.
for the teleconferences and the Denarland chat, the Chronicles chat notification or something.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that it's not going to get onto recaps. I mean, quite frankly, if for some reason
that's how I found this
feel
call was recaps. So
yeah, if everybody out there who's going to get notified feels that there is an information gap, I mean, it'll get posted on recaps, and there's nothing wrong. Nobody's going to get in trouble for posting it on recaps. That 800 number, because that's still within the it's still within the private community. 99.90% of America doesn't know about this. I know we all think they do, but they really don't. They really don't care. They got their own problems. We're the ones that are following this on a daily or weekly basis, and we're going to know. We're going to find out. They want us to find out.
Okay, I just have a quick question. I was late getting on board, but you are all anticipating by Monday that the private groups will be called or notified? Is that correct?
To be honest with you, I was anticipating last week, but it hasn't happened. And anybody that says they know it's going to go down for sure between now and then, they might be in for a surprise. And I'm trying to give you an easy letdown, okay?
Okay, I live daily by faith, so that's the way I'm going to be doing it, but cheerfully and joyfully.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Can I ask what part of Alaska you're in?
I'm about an hour outside of Anchorage. In Wasilla.
Oh, okay.
If you spell it backwards, it says all I saw. Then you got the correct spelling.
Yeah, got it. But I mean, I'll go out on a limb and say there's going to be some type of facility in Anchorage. Of if there's anything in Alaska, it's going to be at Anchorage. So
yeah, I'm guessing
I don't
Wells
think you got
Fargo.
anything to worry about. Yeah,
That's
I don't
the only
think
one
you
we
got
have.
anything to worry about. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Really? Okay.
You realize living an hour outside of Anchorage means you're walking around with a bear sidearm on your head.
I can live with that.
Yeah. It's another world out there, that's for sure.
And the next thing you know, she's probably going to be looking out for Riley. He lives up in Alaska too.
Yep. And Riley that's exactly where he is. He's in that same circle around Anchorage. So.
Yeah. All right, here we go. North Dade, Florida, 305. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to
continue to be a squeaky wheel, but I want to pick up on the beginning of the conversation you and Iko had regarding all the misinformation, et cetera, that we either are getting or are going to get. I'm the guy that lost my opportunity, even though I was an original, to be able to log into the WINGIT Active Board site. And you put me in touch, or admin put me in touch to be able to try to get me on. And what I've been given so far, and it's been over a week now, what I've been given so far is confusing enough. I almost feel like I need technical support. They're talking about avatar. I need an avatar. I needed this. I needed that. And I just used to go into your site.
Can you log into the room?
No, I can't log into. No. And all I want to be able to do, I mean, once this happens, you guys talked about trust, and I have come to trust you and Iko. So I'm hoping once all the misinformation starts, I can get into at least your site so that I can verify any of this stuff. So.
Okay, so hold on here.
That's a good point.
Send an email to the wingitcall@gmail.com.
I did.
And okay, well, send another one. I'm looking at your name right here. Just put your first name, and I'll have the admin. But you have to have an avatar. Everybody has to have an avatar because it helps to be an identifier with what's going on. That's just one of the rules.
Just a stupid question, but what's an avatar?
That's the little photo next to your name.
Yeah, well, you could have a
That's
Mickey
what?
Mouse. You could have a picture of a hammer next to your name, picture of a donkey, picture of a horse. Just a picture next to your avatar name if you're in rolling chat, or if you post anything or any comments, it just shows who's posting besides the name. It's got a picture that goes with it. Okay, not a personal picture. Just you can have a picture of a Blue Moon bottle like I do. I have an avatar. Okay.
So when I go to log in, if I am Franco, all you're telling me is I have to have some kind of a picture next to Franco.
Correct.
Yep.
And
okay.
once you log in, send your request to Life is Art, and she'll help get you taken care of. Okay.
All right. Thanks so much, guys, and keep up the good work. We need your honesty.
Well, we're being brutally honest to the point of being negative today. So there you go.
Thanks.
Thanks. Iko, I don't think there's anything really left to say. Do you?
No, there really isn't. There really isn't. Yeah, I guess it's unfortunate that we're all human beings. That's the truth. We used to have a joke about let's start a commune. Okay, great. We'll do this, and this, and then well, but we're going to have people in it eventually. He goes, oh, well, that's out. You come up with a brilliant idea, and then you got to add people into the mix, and it's like, and then it gets all screwed up. Yeah, it's just and I need to take my own advice. I don't like living out of fear. I don't like mistrusting people. I don't like it. But I'll tell you, after 40 years in business, you learn. You can tell within 2 minutes of meeting someone whether you want to start a business relationship with them or not. And everything, and after that, everything can be corrected. People will make honest mistakes, but finding people with integrity, finding people with I'll call it honorable motives, although the word honorable is always a question mark too. You're just gonna and we're so close, guys, that I really want to get this across. Even if somebody's sitting on the other side of a fancy conference table, on the top floor of some building somewhere in a $3,000 suit, that does not mean they have your best interest at heart. And most of them do. The way they got there was by servicing their clientele and doing a good job. But as any wealthy person in New York will tell you, when you met Bernie Madoff, he charmed the pants off you. And everything he said rang perfectly true, and the guy created one of the biggest Ponzi schemes in history. And a lot of very wealthy, very smart people got caught up in their own greed and didn't pay attention to that little voice that was going off in the back of their heads saying, hold on, put the brakes on, let's look at this. And we're going to be, I know I'm going to be, I'm going to be drunk on wealth for a while. I know it. I know that about myself. And all I can do is be disciplined at a new level for myself and not make hasty decisions. I'm an entrepreneur. I have created companies on a wing and a prayer. Only this time it's different. Instead of trying to make money, we're trying to hold on to money and manage it properly. Yep. That's a new position for all of us. And we're all beginners. We're all beginners at it. And it's okay to be a beginner. It is. But by the same token, we got to concentrate on getting educated as quickly as possible and relying on other folks that we know in this venture to help us. We're all going to make mistakes, and we can benefit from knowing each other's mistakes, and we can benefit from knowing each other's successes. And that's how it works. No business person will ever tell you they did it on their own. They did it because they networked and made alliances and learned from other folks in their industry what to do and what not to do. That's a truly successful business person. I could talk about this for hours, but that's basically it. What I also know is you can only say so much, and then people just have to get out on the street and find out for themselves. And that's going to be a big part of this too. There's no way around it. So, but the information the information we're getting, it's all good. It's all good, and it's going to be great, and we're all going to be okay. So just have faith in that. I am done.
All righty. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Eiko gave a summation. I really can't follow it up. All I'm going to say is, Lord, thank you for allowing me to provide a call for people to come to and listen. Hope that we bring some information that is a little bit for everybody. Other than that, thank you all. Eiko, what's the last thing we say?
We say goodbye on this side of the RV and hello
goodbye
on the other side.
Yeah, all right, goodbye.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye. Welcome to the conference.